know that Pastor Lou talked about the mama bear effect and how the mama bear is, I can't remember the exact order he said, but protective, strict, sensitive, devoted. I think I'm missing one more. I'm missing one more. Attentive. Oh, attentive. So, and as we all know, we are all devoted moms. We're devoted to our children. I know Malcolm said he was going to come on YouTube. He's at his district track meet. So keep Malcolm lifted up in prayer, everyone, as he competes for state finals for the triple jump. So to start my lesson this evening, we are going to do a few trivia questions. So, the first question, before we get into the lesson, who can tell me some mothers of the Bible? Okay, we got Mary.
Elizabeth.
Okay, Mary, Sarah, Elizabeth, Leah. Okay, Leah and who? When you think of Leah, who do you think of when you think of Leah?
Are y'all supposed to be using the mic?
No.
Rachel.
Okay.
I don't want to hog the mic.
Rebecca.
I don't want to hog the mic.
Okay.
Tamar. Elizabeth. They already said Elizabeth.
They already said Elizabeth.
No, they didn't.
Minister D.A. said Elizabeth. Minister D.A. said Elizabeth. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Esther.
Huh?
Esther.
Okay. No, they don't remember. They don't. That's just like Samson's mother. We don't know Samson's mother, her name, but they spoke of her, but they never said her name.
Never established.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. I told you guys I had some trivia. Okay, who else? No. No.
What is Hagar?
Hagar. Very good. Very good. Mm-hmm. No, Elder Viva was asking, what was the question? We said Mary. No, no one said that. Okay.
Bathsheba.
You said what?
Bathsheba.
Okay. Very good. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. They can, okay, one, give you an initial R. Mm-hmm. Oh, someone did say Rebecca? Okay. Okay. I got, okay, two that start with a J. See, I got y'all thinking. I see y'all got those phones out.
Say Josh.
No, Minister Tanika said Eve. Mm-hmm.
What, is it Joshbed? Jochebed.
Joshabed.
Joshebed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. We already said. Did somebody say no? Naomi. Okay. One more that starts with a J. Mm-hmm. Oh, no, I have it right twice. I'm sorry. And someone said Hannah? Okay. Hannah. H-A-N-N-H. All right. Okay. Next question. Which mom put her baby in a basket to save him? We're glad he don't have a mic.
How do you pronounce it?
Jochebed. Very good. Very good. Okay. Which mom prayed for her baby while she visited a temple? Hannah. Yeah, Hannah, Samuel's mom. We're going to give him some more Bible trivia. What mom saw her son die on a cross? Okay. Name the mom of John the Baptist. Who was the first mother on earth? Who? How many times did you repeat the 12th grade? What's junior primary? Oh, you must have been in kindergarten twice. You didn't color and stay in the lines properly, so you were in kindergarten twice. I understand now. Who was Joseph's mother? Old Testament. Which evil mother taught her daughter to dance seductively? No, it don't start with a V. No. Matthew 14:6. Matthew 14:6. Start with an H. Herodias. Okay. Who called herself the mother of Israel? Deborah. Whose mother brought him a new coat each year? First Samuel, chapter. Yep. What does the law say you should do when you find a bird on its nest? A bird. What does the law say you should do when you find a bird on a nest? Who said that? Who said something? Let the mother go free. Deuteronomy 20, chapter. Would you say, Minister Brian? Yes. Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 8. All right. So those were our trivia questions for the evening. So let's go into talking about 5 of the mothers we've had questions about in our trivia session that we can apply to any mother or any soon-to-be mother. So, as someone said, we have Eve. Eve is the mother of first. She was the first to bear a child. Genesis 4, 1 through 2. Adam lay with his wife Eve, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Cain, she said. With the help of the Lord, I have brought forth a man. Later, she gave birth to his brother Abel. She was the first to ever suffer childbirth, endure diaper changes, breastfeeding, burping, teething, and any other chores of being the first mother. She would have likely had the privilege to witness the first smile on a baby, the first laugh, the first words, the first steps, and the first questions of a child. She was the first to be a nurturer of children, and I'm sure she enjoyed it, because I know we all enjoy nurturing our children. She was the first mother of all living. Genesis 3:20, Adam named his wife Eve because she would become the mother of all the living. If you are the first mother on the earth, you and only you can become the mother of all living. All genealogical trees go back to Eve. She was the first to bury a child. Genesis 4:25. Adam lay with his wife again, and she gave birth to a son named Seth, saying, God has granted me another child in place of Abel since Cain killed him. Losing her son at the murderous hand of another son would have been hard on Eve as a mother. While enduring childbirth or another son, she held in mind the lost son Abel. She was the mother of first in many ways. Sarah, the mother in waiting. The first bit of information spoken on Sarah of her was she was barren. Everyone know what barren is? All right. Genesis 11:30. Being a childless woman was something that unjustly brought great reproach in her culture. Since children are a gift from the Lord, Psalms 127:3, people reason that women in this position must have done something shameful to have caused it. For her womb not to have been open at her age would have caused major stress. Her desperation to have a child was demonstrated in the following verse, Genesis 16:1 through 2. Now Sarah, Abraham's wife, had bore him no children, and she had an Egyptian maid whose name was, who was the Egyptian maid? Very good. So Sarah said to Abraham, now behold, the Lord has prevented me from bearing children. Please go to my maid. Perhaps I will obtain children through her. And Abraham listened to the voice of Sarah. Even the birth of Ishmael did not suffice, but further cut her heart that she was not the one that bore a child with her husband. Years later in Genesis 18, Abraham was once again promised in her through his wife Sarah, to which the following was written. Genesis 18:12 through 13. Sarah laughed to herself, saying, after I have become old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord, being old also? And the Lord said to Abraham, why did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I indeed bear a child when I'm old? Though it appeared that she had given up in her old age of a dream of having a child, she later regained her hope through faith in God's promise. Hebrews 11:7, by faith, even Sarah herself received ability to conceive even beyond the proper time of life, since she considered him faithful who had promised. A year later, she gave birth to a son named Isaac and fulfilled her greatest admonition of being a mother. Jochebed, the mother of rescue. Her name means Jehovah, glory. She was the mother of Aaron, Miriam, and Moses. During her early time as a mother, Pharaoh ordered all newborn Israelite males to be thrown into the Nile as crocodile food. Her son, baby Moses, was scheduled for execution by drowning, but she was not going to let that happen. She placed him where? And who found him? All right. When Pharaoh's daughter opened it up, the basket, she saw the child, and behold, the boy was crying. And she had pity on him and said, "This is one of the Hebrew children." Then his sister said to Pharaoh's daughter, "Shall I go and call the nurse for you from the Hebrew woman, so that she may nurse the child for you?" Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Go ahead." So the girl went and called the child's mother. Then Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Take this child away and nurse him for me, and I will give you your wages." So the woman took the child and nursed him. God worked it out for her, and she not only ended up being a nursing mother for her beloved son, and actually was paid for the privilege. Praise God for a mother like her. Hannah, the mother with a vow. Hannah was yet another childless aging woman. She really wanted a child in the best way for her. She went to a place of prayer. She made a heartfelt vow unto God. This was the type of vow. 1 Samuel 1:11. She made a vow and said, "O Lord of hosts, if you will indeed look on the affliction of your maidservant and remember me, and not forget your maidservant, but will give your maidservant a son, then I will give to the Lord all the days of my life, and shall never come on his head." She mentioned this to Eli, the high priest and judge of Israel, saw her praying, thinking she was drunk. When she explained, there was a deep supplication being poured out from her heart to God. His response was, then Eli answered and said, "Go in peace, and may the God of Israel grant you your petition that you have asked of him." She said, "Let your maidservant find favor in your sight." And the woman went with her and ate at her face, was no longer sad. She felt absolutely blessed to have received such kind words from the high priest. Surely she said she would be blessed with a child. And you know what? She was. 1 Samuel 1:20. It came about in due time, after Hannah had conceived, that she gave birth to a son, and she named him Samuel, saying, "Because I have asked him of the Lord." The process of weaning is when a child moves from milk to solid foods. History teaches us that children are weaned from milk to solid foods around, 2 years old, 1.5. But some particularly wean up to, I don't know how some women do this, 4 and 5 years old. I don't, accounting for that time of birth and having to wait for a time of yearly old. Samuel was about 3 years old when he was weaned. She dedicated him fully to God as a priest and prophet. 1 Samuel 1 and 27 through 28, she said, "For this boy I prayed, and the Lord has given me my petition, which I asked of him. So I have also dedicated him to the Lord. As long as he lives, he is dedicated to the Lord." And he worshiped the Lord there. He would go on to be one of the godliest figures in the Bible, largely in part to be dedicated, mother that saw to that he be dedicated to God with God's help, and her vow that he was going to be a great man. Mary. Who is Mary? She was chosen by God to be the vessel of our Lord Jesus Christ. Likely a teenager, she would have had to endure as many obstacles in life. John 8:41, upon becoming pregnant, prior to her marriage to Joseph, yet she willingly felt it worthy for such a task. Luke 1 and 38, and Mary said, "Behold, the bond slave of the Lord, may it be done to me according to your word." She talked about the moments of Jesus' life just like any other mother. When shepherds announced the praising angels of Christ, she talked about them. Mary treasured all these things about her son. In Luke chapter 2, verse 33, it states that both her and Joseph were amazed at the things which were being said to him. When witnessing his teaching abilities as a 12-year-old, it says in Luke 2:51, and his mother treasured all things in her heart. She was also following him around in ministry just like any mother in the world, any mother would. She was with him in the synagogue when he was being rejected by his fellow residents. She was there when he cried out his first miracle. She was there the day he was nailed on the cross. But standing by the cross of Jesus were his mother and his mother's sister, Mary, the wife of what is it? Clopas, and Mary Magdalene. When Jesus then saw his mother and the disciples whom he loved standing nearby, she said to his mother, "Woman, behold your son." Then he said to the disciples, "Behold your mother." From that hour, the disciple took her into his own household. She took a great interest in her son, just like any other mother would do, just as a normal, simple woman who loves God and was blessed by Jesus as an earthly woman. As we take pride in our children now, I know I'm a proud mom. I know Pastor Sheila is a proud mom. Minister D.A. Sister Tierra is a bonus mom. Elder V. Minister Tanika is an auntie. Minister Maria is an auntie, and everyone looks up to us. As Pastor Lou said, we as women, We have a womb. We have that caring traits. We're dedicated to our children. There's nothing we would not do for them. As he said, Pastor Sheila will go up to the school jazz and be dead wrong. But she gonna fight for him. And I know somebody mess with Malcolm, I'm going up there. Y'all think I'm a different person. I might start crying. If I start crying, then that's a real problem. So, the 5 worthy lessons of these great mothers of the Bible are: Eve, always be prepared for the unexpected. Sarah, treat every child like a promised child. Jochebed, trust God when the tough times come, because they will come, but you'll get through them. Hannah, make sure you fully dedicate your child to God. Mary, the mother of Jesus, internalize your relationships with your child. Grow with them, learn them. If they look funny, you as a mother know what's wrong with them. Malcolm can come down the steps and I know something wrong. I can tell in his tone of voice something is wrong. He called me yesterday. He said, Mom, guess what? Something not right. I said, what's not right? He said, I'm just like you. I said, what you mean you just like me? He put me on FaceTime. He done messed up his foot. But by the grace of God, he was able to jump today. We iced that foot. We prayed on it. And he is jumping and competing. And that's my lesson this evening, family. Thank you.